What do car guys love? Car movies. And if we love car movies, then we love movie cars. And thanks to the magic that is the Assetto Corsa modding community, we can now drive some of our favorite movie and TV cars in real life locations. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take some of my favorite cars from media and drive them on the Shutoko Expressway in Japan and see which one we like best. And our lineup for today is as follows. The 2014 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 from the Need for Speed movie, Brian's Toyota Supra from the first Fast and Furious movie. Keeping in the Fast and Furious theme, we're also going to drive Han's Veilside Mazda RX7 from Tokyo Drift, the Ferrari 512 Testarossa from Miami Vice in cocaine white, of course, and lastly, the 1967 Shelby GT500 Eleanor Mustang from the Gone in 60 Seconds remake in 2000. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the route I've decided to take for each of these cars is the same. We're going to start at the Daiichi parking lot and drive all the way across the Bay Bridge. That way we get a good mix of medium speed turns and straights to really see what these cars can do. I figured driving around a regular track would be kind of boring and stuffy. Now, unfortunately, I can't do a section time for this, so we'll just have to go back and look at the video after each car and see which one was the fastest. But really, we're not going to be driving these to see which one is the fastest. We want to see which one is the best, which one is most like it would be if it were a real life car. All right, we're going to start here in the Need for Speed Mustang. By the way, although I'm going to kind of be reviewing these mods as a modder myself, it's important to know I'm not going to unfairly criticize any mods. It takes a lot of time and effort to make these mods for free for people, so I'm not going to speak ill of any of these mods. I'm just going to give my honest opinion on them. This one, fairly well done, looks great on the inside, looks exactly how it looks in the movie, even with the fake camera rear view mirrors on the side. Has Paul's phone on the dash. Good looking, yeah, Michigan Avenue, a nice nod to Detroit there. Let's see how she drives. Sounds great. Missed a shift there. I believe in the movie this car supposedly had 900 horsepower. In real life it probably had closer to I think 500 or so, they said. But this handles exactly how I would expect this car to handle in real life. We got 6 gears, nice, and boy, is she fast. We're almost at 200 miles per hour. Handles like a heavy car that is very fast, which I guess that's all you can expect from a Mustang. Man, this thing is very fast. Also, it's got a nice feel. That might be because of this mod, the SRP mod. Typically, if there's one criticism I have about Assetto Corsa, and Assetto Corsa is my favorite sim, is that the road feel is very vague in this game. Like, you don't really feel this connection, especially shockingly if you have a direct drive wheel. But this car, it feels like it's planted on the road. You can feel the rubber meet the asphalt. It feels real good. All right, we're coming up on the bridge here. It's not lit up yet. Oh boy, the steering is getting really heavy on this thing. All right, this is a tricky corner up here. We're coming up to the flat part. Now in the movie, I guess this car could do up to 234 miles per hour. We're gonna see if we can come close to that. We're almost over the 200 mark here. And I think 208 is where we're gonna top out. That was fun. I like that car. Here we are in the car that started a culture shift in the early 2000s. I remember when this movie came out, I went looking for a Toyota Supra like everyone else, and at that time they were fairly reasonably priced. I couldn't quite afford one at the time. I wish I had bought one at the time, because now they are a six-figure car. This one has some nice touches to it as far as fan service. We got a little picture of Paul Walker here on the A-pillar. We got a external tachometer there. We've got carbon fiber center console. I mean, it looks like it does in the movie. NOS button, all of that. All right, let's go. It handles like turbo cars handle in the Assetto Corsa. Boost comes on, it gets a little squirrely, but not really all that fast though. In real life, this car wasn't all that fast either. It was jammed full of electronics and audio gear that just made it heavy. Great show car, but it just wasn't really as fast. It certainly wasn't a 10-second car like it was portrayed in the movie. And we're in 6th gear, and we have topped out already. Oh no, this is not good. We are just riding the rev limiter now. Handles kind of weird. A lot of modded cars, the physics are always just kind of wonky. This is one of those cars. The car wants to slide a lot. And there we are again. Where are my headlights? Not that I need them, but... Oh boy, that's annoying. I guess I could change the gearing for this car, but I wanted to leave all the cars stock as they were modded. clearly this car was modded for drag races, which I guess makes sense in the context of the movie. I don't know, I might do a drag race test with some of these cars one day, and we'll put it through its proper paces that way. It accelerates pretty nicely. Not anything like that Mustang though. Hey, bridge ain't lit up. Oh yeah, it is. Alright, here we go. And we are already at the rev limit. Would you please shut up? Yeah, this is not fun at all. Alright, that's totally gonna do it. And now this is one of my favorite modded cars to drive in Assetto Corsa, the Veilside Fortune Mazda RX7 that is like the one that Han drove in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. It is not the exact same. That one was right-hand drive. This one's left-hand drive. Otherwise, it is the same. And let's take it for a spin. Oh yeah, that feels good. I mean, nice and fast. It feels like it was made to drive on the Shutoko Expressway. The mod itself is real good, except he doesn't have the shifter animation. Oh, we had 6 gears there. I forgot we didn't. Instead, he uses the paddle shifters animation, but it's all right. Man, we're still pulling. We're not like the Supra running out of room at 10,000 RPM. Handles really well for a modded car. Like I said before, the physics on modded cars are kind of always tough to nail down, but this one does the job very well. I remember when this movie first came out, a lot of people had never seen this body kit before, and they were like, what kind of car is that? I certainly didn't know what it was until I later found out that it was an RX-7. An FD RX-7, which, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, is the best looking RX-7. Even now, I think that car just doesn't look dated at all. Just kind of a timeless looking car, like a lot of those 90s Japanese cars. This one drives incredible. I wonder if it drives this well in real life as well. Man, I don't get behind the wheel on this. really like a 6th gear though. Oh, a little bit of accidental drift action there. We're on the shift, upset the drivetrain a bit too much, but we're good. Man, you guys gotta download this mod. Just a lot of fun to drive. Actually has a little bit of downforce too. I mean, it's got a spoiler, giant spoiler on the back, and the Assetto Corsa adding spoilers to your mod actually does give the car a little bit of automatic downforce. You just can't tune it unless you mod the car to be able to have the amount of downforce tunable. Steering feels most realistic out of modded cars I've driven so far. Alright, here we go. I keep wanting to shift to 6. Let's just go ahead to 6th gear. Man. I'm gonna have to drive it again and change the gear ratios so I can stretch the legs out some, but really good mod, really fun to drive. Highly recommended. This is the car I wanted as a kid, the Ferrari Testarossa. This car was also prominently featured in the Wangan Midnight anime. Now, if you guys are old like I am old, you would remember in the first season of Miami Vice, they actually drove a 1973 Ferrari Daytona 365 GT4. But that car was actually a replica, and Ferrari sued the makers of the replica and told the production of Miami Vice that they would give them 2 genuine Ferrari Testarossas if they destroyed the replicas. The TV studio agreed, and Ferrari delivered 2 1986 Ferrari Testarossas that were black. They felt like black was a bit too subdued for the show, so they painted them white, and that's how we have the white Ferrari Testarossas from Miami Vice. And I thought this was a 6-speed as well. We only got 5 gears here. You know, the Ferraris drive so well in Assetto Corsa, mainly because Kunos has such a relationship with Ferrari. Assetto Corsa is actually the official simulation software for Ferrari. And this car is no exception. It feels exactly how I would expect a real Ferrari Testarossa to feel if I were driving it on the Shutoko Expressway. Also, I made a mistake earlier. I referred to the bridge as the Bay Bridge. This is actually the Susumi Bridge. The Yokohama Bay Bridge is on the other side of the bay. This bridge is on the western side of the bay. Apologize for that mistake. I'm sure people in the comments were already correcting me. I just love how minimalist 80s exotic cars look. I mean, look at these analog gauges. Look at the interior. And this is not a mod, by the way. This is one of the base model cars that came with the Assetto Corsa. At least I think it is. Doesn't really scream like I would expect a Ferrari to. I mean, you know, Ferraris have that reputation for that high-pitched rev. This doesn't really have that. But I've never actually heard a real Testarossa, so So I may have scratched the door on this thing. I think we might be able to break 200 in this thing. I wasn't paying attention earlier, so I didn't see what we got up to, but I think we might give the Need for Speed Mustang a run for its money here. All right, here we go. We're at 150. Oh, we ran out of juice in fifth gear. Man, I guess I could have kept stretching it in fourth, but we're still going. Almost at 170. About to peg the speedo, 180. I'm just gonna keep going until she runs out. Oh yeah, I think we can get 200. 208 is what we're looking to break here. Nope, she's good at 195, 196. And I think that's gonna do it. But boy, she's stable. If I take my hands off the wheel, look at that. Great car. Now I have a virtual version, so I don't have to buy a real one like I've always dreamed about when I was a kid. By the way, you can buy these in the $100,000 range. A few years ago, you could have got one for about 50 grand. Or you can just drive one in the Assetto Corsa. Ah, yes. Eleanor. 1967 Shelby GT500 from the movie. Now, although the 1967 Shelby GT500 did exist, it didn't look really anything like this. This particular trim and configuration was made especially for the Gone in 60 Seconds movie. And they've done a pretty good job with this mod. We have the nitrous button that says "Go baby go," just like in the movie. Very, very well done with this mod here. Let off the clutch. Speaking of clutch, you'll notice that all of the cars that I've driven today are manual transmissions. Go figure. One, this thing is really loud and it handles like a pig in snot. And it only has 4 gears. Go figure. This might be more annoying than the Supra. I think the engine note sounds a lot better. It actually handles better than the Supra, though. Actually, one of my favorite things about the scene that this car was in was the car that was chasing it was a BMW E39 540i Sport, a car that I own in real life. And that movie was one of the reasons why I wanted that car. Thought it was a cool looking car. I knew I'd never own a 67 GT500. So I said, okay, I'll just buy that BMW, which I did 10 years later. But this drives exactly how I would expect this car to drive if I were really driving it in real life. Modders did a great job with this car. You can find the links to these mods down in the description. I'll try my best to link them all. I've had some of these on my hard drive for years, so hopefully those links are still good. If not, I'll hook you guys up, I promise. This car really isn't all that fast, so it actually handles fairly well. And in the movie, you didn't get the idea that the car was like incredibly fast. Like, you know, some of the cars they stole in that movie, Lamborghini Diablos, McLaren F1s, this car doesn't compare, but it's just that the aesthetic, sentimental value of this car. And that movie is 20 years old. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Think about it now. This is definitely a car that you cruise around town for attention in. Even in the movie, he wasn't really outrunning the cops until he hit the nitrous button. Car is kind of floaty. I guess I would expect that. I don't know how heavy these things are in real life. Doesn't feel particularly heavy in the game, just kind of floaty. Not super responsive. You see there's like a lot of dead zone almost in the steering. All right, here we go. Almost put it in the wall there. Man, 135. Wow, so far I think that's the slowest of all the cars we've driven over the bridge today. But that's okay. It might be the coolest looking and the best sounding. Fine mod here. Real good job with this mod. That's about all I can say about it. So which one of those did I like the best? I'm going to have to crown the winner, despite what the times say, as the Veilside Fortune RX7. It was just the most fun to drive. It sounded good. It was just a really well made mod. I think after that, then I have to go the Ferrari, but I mean that wasn't really a mod. That was a Kuno's car, so that was to be expected. The Shelby GT500 was surprisingly fun to drive. The worst was probably the Toyota Supra, just because it just didn't handle all that well, and at 145 miles an hour it got kind of annoying. So my suggestion is to download the RX7 mod and have a lot of fun with it. In fact, I might set up an Assetto Corsa server with these cars on it, and you guys can come join me. We can have fun racing them around Shutoko Expressway. Also, be sure to download the SRP mod, the Shootout Revival Project mod. That is probably the best Shutoko Expressway mod for Assetto Corsa. A lot of fun. I'll link to that in the description. So you guys be sure to leave some comments about what you thought, your favorite car to drive. What are some movie cars you'd like to see in Assetto Corsa, or you'd like to see me drive? And then maybe we can stick them on the server and we can all have a good time with it. If you like this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe so you can get more of the sim racing content that you desire. You guys take care.